What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. Show Me the Money Club live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, even if I'm not here like I was last week. But Sergio held down the fort pretty well from what I've been able to see. So good job. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep. How's everything going with you?
Good. Pretty good.
Bills won?
Yeah, all is well. All is well. We have 78 and sunny in California, so all is well.
You're lucky. It's 30 and about to be snowy here in Buffalo. So no fun. But Bills won, so that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get right into it because we do have a guest coming on in just a few moments. So we have Chad from Rides2U coming on. Then we're going to be talking about the Uber glitch. What's going on with multiple stop trips right now? Uber shaving continues. Do you like Lyft's favorite driver feature? And then we're going to be talking about Lyft 7030 Hocus Pocus. Got 100% proof right here, which is insane. Then we're going to be talking about should Lyft be able to turn drivers' apps on or off without a permission of a driver? A video on that one. We got Lyft Fragrance smell-free rides. Oh, yeah. And then surveillance pricing with Instacart and others, making its round over that way. And then Uber says the sky's the limit when it comes to growth, but then they're blaming the affordability crisis on driver pay. Interesting.
There's been a big push with that last couple weeks or so.
Yep. So we've got quite a big show for you coming up today. So let's bring Chad on right now. Chad, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Hey, Chad, welcome to Show Me the Money. Let's show the drivers the money.
Thanks for having me.
So we always say on the rideshare guy, right? We say, don't work hard, work smart, and always multi-app. As many possible, because you could get deactivated literally in an hour for whatever reason. So Chad, with that said, introduce yourself, tell us about Rides2U, and tell us a little bit about your past. It's quite interesting.
So I'm Chad Mastagh, the founder and CEO of Rides2U. I've been a local fireman here in South Bend, Indiana for going on 22 years. I was working a part-time job at Ryder Truck Rental as well, and my kids were in college, my son was playing travel baseball, and like many people, you're trying to find an extra source of income to pay the bills, to do things for your kids. And one of my coworkers introduced me to Uber at the time, which I had no idea what that was 8 years ago. And so I went out and drove so he could get his little $100 referral bonus and started driving. But like a lot of drivers experienced, I would run into an issue on the app. I would call somebody and I'm speaking to somebody who's reading off a card, doesn't really even understand my problem. And, then it's like, hey, I'm doing all this work. I'm doing all the driving. And back then it was way easier to look at your pay and what the customer paid. And I'm like, why am I doing all the work and getting just a fraction of the pay? So, I'm a motivated driver. I'm highly competitive, and I, like many drivers, joined some Facebook groups, learned some tips and tricks on how I get the most out of the app and beat the algorithm. And from there, as a dad of daughters, and I'm, like I said, as a fireman, safety is the most paramount to me. And I saw the condition of some of the cars on the road and some of the drivers. And to me, it was like, look, there's no way I'm ever going to put my kids in one of those cars. It's not going to happen. Like I want, and like many drivers out there today, what happens is people want you to ride all the time. I call it illegal rideshare. It happens all over the place. Hey, you pick somebody up, I'll give you $20-$50 to take me back. And I built a huge clientele, but I did go get the commercial insurance, which, everybody knows is hefty. And I got that commercial insurance, started driving, and I built a huge clientele to the point I couldn't keep up with my other jobs. And so, like many people, I was referring, everybody's like, well, if you can't do it, who can? So I would be, I spent a lot of my time finding people that do these rides. And that's when I went to Notre Dame to what they had at the time, the Idea Center, and said, hey, how do I get paid for what I'm doing, right? Like it's my name, my brand locally that, the people wanted to ride with, but I couldn't do it. And I'm finding people, but I want to get paid for that. And I want to get everybody on the right side of the law. I want everybody to operate with their commercial insurance and proper things. So that's where we got started back in 2021.
And fast forward to 2025, you're expanding, you're growing. I've known you for quite a while now, personally, but I know about the company as well. Chad, by the way, is one of the good guys in the industry, because he cares about the driver. I mean, he cares about his passengers, obviously, but he cares about the driver. So tell us a little bit about what Rides2U is. I know what it is, but then I want you with your own words tell us a little bit about, is it on demand? Is it only scheduled trips? How the pay differs when it comes to driver? And you're mostly in college towns, obviously, and you have some deals with specific colleges. So let's get into that.
Right. So like it says behind me, like we say what Rides2U is, it's when trust matters most. When you need a ride, and it's very important, and you need that ride. We all know how the games are with traditional rideshare, with the reservation systems and platforms they had, and how it's not always fair to the driver, and you're, as a passenger, you don't even know who's really coming until they're on the way.
Yep.
And then you might get canceled on multiple times. So, I built this company as a driver first, because unlike other CEOs of companies that go out and drive to show that they're making money, I actually had to do it to put money on my table. So I understand, and it's important to me that we treat our drivers we pay them the highest we can. B, we treat them with the most respect we can, because they are the face of the company. And we can't go out and do every ride. I can't go do rides every day. So they are the most important piece of the puzzle to us, to share the brand, to get people to want to ride with us. And so we cherish our drivers, and as a parent of college students, and at the time, getting a guaranteed, safe, reliable ride was the most important thing to me when your kids are far away. You want to be able to know that someone's going to be there that's trustworthy, that's got a reliable vehicle, and going to get you from point A to B. Now, does that come with a little bit extra increased price? Yeah. A lot of times our fares are, maybe 20% higher than traditional rideshare. Yeah. But when it matters most and trust matters most, you got to pay for that, right? I mean, that comes with
absolutely, yeah. Well, I feel like rideshare in its current form is, race to the bottom, and basically, let's call it Walmart of transportation, right? I mean, and then you have the other players in there.
Right.
A lot of players have come and gone in the rideshare space because they don't have the deep pockets to compete with Uber and Lyft. But how come you survived for 4 years? And I know you're thriving, so let's talk a little bit about that.
I mean, first of all, I made a lot of mistakes, as a CEO of a company, as a driver, as a parent, as a father, and as a husband, right? I mean, but I've asked for forgiveness for my mistakes, and I try to learn from those mistakes and grow, and it takes a lot of faith, like Elon Musk said, you got to staring into the abyss and eating glass as the CEO of a company, right? Every day you're facing extinction, and you have problems upon problems that you have to solve. But it comes down to faith. It doesn't make it easy; it just makes it possible, and that's what I rely on right now personally, is my faith. I would not be where we are today without the Lord. He's opened the doors for us, and you're looking at runways and you're doing these things, and the doors opened, and that's why I give my praise to the Lord for that. But going into what you want to hear about the pay and things like that, I thought we would start this company as an on-demand company, because that's what I was doing. I was making a lot of money on Venmo, driving at night when I was a small LLC. And I learned, like you said, it's a race to the bottom. It's impossible to do all the time. You're competing with surge pricing, these things. And we learned over time that what mattered most was people getting from point A to point B. And it's, as a driver who was working other jobs, and like most gig economy workers, you work, not everybody does it full time. I want to do it when I can do it. And I want to know when I'm going to get paid. I want to know where I'm going, who I'm getting. I don't want to play these games of ratings and say, well, you got to be a 5-star driver with a 97% acceptance rate or whatever to see this. That's bullcrap, right? We show everybody everything, period. There's no levels. It's like, if you come on, we don't hire everybody either, right? We take the best of the best. And if we wouldn't, at the end of the day, I wouldn't put my daughters in somebody's car if they don't drive for us. That's kind of our standard here.
Yeah.
But we don't play games with pay either. Everybody knows if the trip is 40 miles or less, you take 70%, not 70% after expenses, 70% of the customer fare. If it's a trip over 40 miles, it's 65% straight to the driver every time. So we don't do these after fares, whatever, expenses, it doesn't make
how do you price? Is it obviously it's not algorithmic, I know, but is it by time and distance, and how do you price those trips?
So everything is based off of first of all, when we go to a market, it's important to go to the drivers, right? Like, we just launched up in Ann Arbor. We get with our partner there and our team and say, what's a fair price for you to do this ride? What does a driver want to get paid to feel like, hey, this was worth my time, and I'm going to give a great experience to the customer? And so that's the number one thing, right? Is find out that, then say, okay, how much does it cost for insurance? How much is the credit card fees? And then we can reverse engineer the math on the price. Everything is fixed price. There's no surges. We created in these college areas specifically shared rides, right? Not like the traditional share you think of when you think of Uber share, but like shared rides from point A to point B, like, from example, Notre Dame to South Bend Airport, where the first passenger pays half the fare, like for here, and then the second pass, it goes on our app. It's like a virtual board. You can scroll the app, see all the available rides. Oh, this works for me or my students. I can get on this ride. And then now that, I've got 2 riders, each paying, let's say example, $20 each. So now that's a $40 ride going to the driver, $28. But every ride has a minimum fare. So for example, in a South Bend ride, they're getting $21 minimum, where you might see $6 to $12 on Uber or Lyft as a pay for a driver. So it's $21 minimum pay. It could go all the way up to $42 per person. So we're pricing it per person on these shared rides. Everything we do on our private rides as well as per person. It depends on what people use.
I know, you're actually focusing on a niche that I don't know any other company that's focusing on, which is colleges, college towns, and college students, right? And how many colleges are you in now? What kind of deals you have with these colleges? And then let's talk a little bit about your expansion plans. How many more colleges are coming up? I mean, I've seen your maps where all the colleges exist, and it's insanity, like how many thousands of colleges are, and how many of these students go out at night and to bars and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we currently operate at Ole Miss, IU, Purdue, Notre Dame, and Michigan. So those are our main campuses right now. We focus, like I said, on niche markets. We're ideally you're 50 to 200 miles from a major U.S. airport. These are secondary or third markets to traditional rideshare companies that, they struggle. They do great in major metro areas, right? It's easy. You have better quality, but you get outside of those major areas, it's rideshare stuff. And then you add, in a college town specifically, you add anywhere from 7 to 50,000 students for 10 months of the year.
Yep.
Rideshare really gets bad. It's bad to begin with, but then it gets really bad because of availability, and like they take anybody and everybody, right? It's what makes them magical is that I can open my app and get a ride usually in 10 minutes. That's magic. I mean, let's not lie. But how do you do that? You take anybody and everybody, and that's why the experience has gone downhill for most people, right? As driver pay, customer experience has gone down. We don't do that. We flip the math and said, hey, look, by only doing reservations, we can know when the demand is, and we have tons of drivers that only want to drive reservations around their gigs, and they prioritize our rides because we pay them better. We try to treat them better. We try to do what's right by the driver and the customer. That's the number one focus.
Yeah. And as far as the onboarding of drivers, because I'm sure there's going to be some questions about it. Are you there? Are you there? So Chad just mentioned the five colleges that they serve at the moment, and it's going to grow, I'm pretty sure. How does the onboarding on the driver go? Is it the same process as Uber and Lyft, or do they have to have different qualifications or newer cars, or how does that work out?
Right. So, I mean, everybody can apply online on our Bombard website. There's a link, www.rides2u.com. The applications come in, we go through them, and then they set up interviews with our team. Locally, we do in-person interviews. So you come in, you sit down with their team, we talk about why we're different, and the standards that we have here. And then if everybody agrees to that, we do a visual inspection of your car every year. Everybody gets a 50-point mechanical inspection yearly, because we're also we want the best of the best to know your car, but we're pricing our price higher, right? And to get that price, parents need to know, we're doing our standard, TNC rules with the backgrounds and those things, but we go above and beyond because it's important that we have high quality drivers. We're looking to expand. We just launched in Ann Arbor October 1st. We know that in towns across America, there's great drivers and small operators all over the country that are looking for commercial insurance, that get opportunities to drive off the books. Illegal rideshare happens all over, but they don't have tech, they don't have the insurance, and so we're looking to expand with partners to come on board underneath our umbrella, for lack of a better word, and say, hey, look, I'm in this city. I know there's an opportunity for me to build a business under your company, be the operator of that business, and get paid when I drive and get paid some rev share as you grow the business in that area. So right now, that's our primary focus, is finding these trusted drivers in these towns across America that want something better. They want to build they want to build their business with us and say, hey, I want to get paid what I'm worth when I drive. I want to manage this business. I know people trust me, but maybe I already have a business and I'm turning people away. Here's an opportunity for me to come on your platform, get the commercial insurance, get the marketing, get the tech stack, and bring on a few more drivers under Rides2U and get paid for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's quite smart, actually, that you're not competing with with Ubers and Lyfts, honestly. As you know, they have pushed reservations or scheduled trips, as they call it, on their platforms a lot because these are very profitable trips for them. And they make the driver wait, like they have to turn the app on 45 minutes before, do this, do that. I'm like, that doesn't work. It just kills everything. What is if you worked, I mean, I'm not going to push you for exact numbers, but you drove Uber, you know me, we talk quite a bit, and then, we know how much a rideshare driver makes. Let's say a comparable trip, from IU to the airport, Do you know what Uber charges and pays the driver? And do you know why you charge and pay the driver?
Right. Yeah. So Uber from IU to Indianapolis, you're going to pay between $60 to $100 depending on the time of day. Obviously, the reservations also flex up and down. I mean, to get more specific on numbers, let's just talk Notre Dame to Chicago, right?
Okay.
An Uber trip is 175 on the app, on demand or reservation most of the time.
Okay.
They do know when these kids are leaving because the reservation prices will go higher on those days, just like on a football weekend, right? We don't ever surge our price, but that 175, I've seen screenshots. You've seen me post them on X. Where drivers are getting offered anywhere from 55 to 80 to maybe 90 to $100 for that. It's 5 hours. You're talking traffic, tolls, wear, tear, gas, right? That's not worth it. 50 to $100. Our minimum trip there is $250. That can be split by 2 riders on a shared ride, and that pays the driver $162.50 minimum. If they end up with 4 or more passengers, they get $325, $406 and a quarter. It can go up. So we want to pay them fair.
I mean, on a shared trip, as you say, this is not Uber Pool or Lyft shared, by the way, folks. Like, it could be roommates that are from the same city, and then they're going to go back home for Christmas or whatever, any holiday. Or at the end
example is one might be a couple on campus at Notre Dame, might be at St. Mary's across the street, and we don't dictate to the driver, this is the route to go. As a contractor, the best way to go around campus. I'm going to let you decide. I'm going to go here, here, and here and get my passengers and get on the road, right? I mean, you are the person that knows the city better than anybody else. Why should we say, hey, you need to go this way?
Yeah, absolutely.
As a contractor, you should have all the freedom. The price. We're going to let you go the best way you want to go. We always recommend using Waze or something for traffic. But
all these trips include insurance, obviously, commercial insurance. Right. And the other thing is, I mean, if you just kind of do the math in your head, the driver is going to make about 60% more than Uber and Lyft in most cases, on average, probably under Rides2U. And the rider is going to save, if it's a shared trip, instead of paying $175, $200, they're going to go for $125. So both sides win, basically. Do you have any idea of what schools are next, or can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, like you've seen our map, we're right now looking for partners. Obviously, they found that's the most important way to go right now is to find people who already have an established brand who can't grow anymore or are looking to grow, like we did at Ann Arbor with them. So, we're looking at Wisconsin, the Ohio State, I should say. Some down south, in the Big Ten, the SEC. There's a lot of schools. We get drivers and parents all the time asking us that have kids in multiple schools. Can you please bring us here? Can you bring us to Austin, Texas? Like, even though there's robo taxis and everything everywhere, they're asking us all the time, bring this here, because they want something different. So
I look, I've known you for quite a while. As I said, I know about the company, and I think doing what you're doing is grow slowly, right? But then grow properly, as opposed to what these companies have done. Just create a marketplace and throw everybody, both sides of the marketplace, to the wolves, the rider and the driver. And I can vouch for Rides2U that if it's in your city, you definitely should take a look at it. They don't accept every driver, by the way, so you guys know. So it's not going to be the cakewalk that you guys think it is, like Uber and Lyft, but they want the best and the best for their business. So I'm going to give you the floor. We got a couple of minutes remaining, and tell us anything else you want to add.
No, I just appreciate you having me on today, and being able to share the opportunity and our relationship we've had for the last 3 years. It's just, we're always open for suggestions. If if anybody is interested in becoming a partner with us to drive, I mean, I'll give you my personal email. It's chad@rides2u.com. Send me an email. And we can discuss, opportunities in that area. We obviously want to look at permitting the expense, but we feel like this partnership thing is a great way to help people grow their business with us and expand Rides2U across the country, and give people a fair opportunity. Driver discontent's at all-time high. We all know that, and this is an opportunity to take Rides2U all across America and the towns that it fits, with drivers that it fits, and grow and make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I wanted to post is this thing right here. I enjoy driving with Rides2U. It's been a great experience for me. One of our audience members posted that. I just wanted to show that. And thank you for coming on. And we'll keep our audience posted about what's going on with Rides2U. They're here to stay, folks. They're unlike the other ones that have come and gone. Couple, in fact, I've worked with, but their model is different, and that's why I think they will survive and thrive. So, Chad, thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. So if you're interested more about Rides2U, you can check out the description. Link is in there. And then if you're in one of the areas that they're looking for drivers, you can definitely go and check that out as well too.
Well, look, like a lot of people are saying the same thing, Pennsylvania, this and that. Look, get in touch with him. He's looking for partners in different cities, and you can, if you have your own private business going already with insurance, the pay is better and everybody wins. So give him a call or reach out to Chad. Chad responds to everything. So as I said, I've known him for 3 years now. He's a stand-up guy. I mean, he's a firefighter, so he's dependable, unlike Uber and Lyft CEOs.
Well, he showed up. I think that's the biggest thing right there.
That's a big plus, isn't it? Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, let's move on. Let's talk about behind the wheel.
Yeah, behind the wheel. We're looking for candidates. Please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. We just want to elevate your voice, get your voice out. We'll hop on a Zoom call. We'll talk about 20-30 minutes, and then we don't edit it. We don't put a muzzle on you. You can talk about anything you want to talk about, and we'll put you out there. I like doing these because it clearly shows the concerns of the driver, but then there are some drivers happy driving. So we're not just looking for negativity. We're looking for both sides of the coin. And if you're interested, and if you're not camera shy, and it's just a fireside chat, you're not interviewing for a job, okay? so Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Please email me. Thank you.
Yep. So that is something there. Everybody's got a story, and there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, but come on, share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Tell Sergio he's wrong, and then tell him why.
Well, I'm about to interview somebody I had interviewed, who I call him lovingly my personal troll, and he loves Uber. Okay, I mean, when you Todd, right? When
Todd.
I did the interview about 1.5 years ago, and then I'm gonna do another one with him. So Todd, if you're watching, breaking news, you're about to get the email. It's not because it's popular demand, but look, we like showing both sides of the coin, and he has his own little thing going in Oceanside, California, and so hopefully you guys will see him. And don't be brutal. Don't be too hard on Todd.
You know what? During that episode, you got to make sure you're sipping on some Kool-Aid.
Good idea. Good idea, bro. What color?
I like tropical punch, but blue Raz is pretty good.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to our first topic, and that is Uber's multiple stop trip glitch or something thereof.
I've gotten a bunch of emails about this, yeah, and then I sent it to Uber, and they immediately came back and says, "Oh shit,
it's just a glitch."
Teams looking into it." So a lot of drivers sent me screenshots. So what's happening is that you're getting to this is on multi-stops, by the way. It's not when you arrive. This is on multi-stop trips. I'm not a huge fan of multi-stop trips. I don't accept them, but if you happen to accept one, and you get to the first stop, and this is what you'll see, and the clock is not starting. So Uber knows about it. We're looking to fix it. If it's fixed, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. And if it's not fixed, if it's still going, send me screenshots like this so I can send it to Uber. And this is not Philippines, folks. Actually, Uber is looking into this in the US. I'm not sending this to Philippines or some AI chatbot. I'm sending it to my proper contacts within Uber, and they were we're working together in certain things, and they were like, well, thanks for sending it to us. We didn't know. I'm like, yeah, it's happening. I'm getting it from a lot of drivers. So look, not that it pays like ridiculous amount of money on the first stop, but then why shouldn't you get paid? You know what I mean? Because then the clock is broken. You didn't get paid. Now you're pissed off the second leg of the trip, right? And then what do you have to do now? Like, you have to spend an hour, 45 minutes to go to AI chatbot first to get your $2 or something.
Yeah.
And most people don't do it because I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it's time
And I
efficient.
think that's why Uber banks on that. They're like, well,
Yeah.
it's not really that much, and the amount of time that you're going to be sitting there spending, nobody's going to do that. But I mean, that's everybody. That's like every freaking business out there right now. I mean,
Yep.
look at trying to cancel a gym membership. Oh, you
Yeah.
got to send a certified letter. You got to do this, that, and the other thing. No, I'll just do chargebacks. Fuck you.
Yeah, man. No, I mean it's really become down to that because everybody has figured it's a law of numbers, right?
Yep.
Millions of drivers. Okay, let's say 100,000 drivers have this problem, which is probably more. Okay, a couple of bucks at a time, you know.
Mhm.
Because that money is being collected from the rider. I can assure you that.
Oh, for sure.
But then it's not getting paid to the driver. So time is money. I mean, just like
That's
time
called
is money for Uber CEO, time is money for the driver. So
that's
what?
called widening the gap.
Yes, sir. Wealth gap or whatever gap it is. But if you are seeing this, folks, please email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Just like with the screenshots there where the clock hasn't started on your halfway stop, on your first stop towards your destination. And I will send it back to Uber again.
Yep. Hopefully it'll get fixed for whatever reason they got. Oh, it's just a glitch. Oh well. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about Uber shaving. Bum, bum,
Yeah,
bum.
this is also another one that I got multiple emails about, but I put this one up. Hey, Sergio. And again, December 7th, 2025, 3:58 a.m. I mean, it clearly says on the right-hand screenshot, right? That's his letter, the driver's letter. And you can cancel the trip for an extra $209. Well, didn't work out, did it now? Well, this driver, sends me quite a bit of stuff once in a while. And I mean, he did all my work. He did the circle. He did the connecting line. There is nothing else for me to do. So he did cancel. You should have gotten the extra 209, just like Uber said.
Yeah. What
Right?
the hell?
I
What the
mean,
hell, Uber?
how much is that? 42 cents? Yeah. Multiply that times, I don't know. I mean, look, this is the way, right? Nickel and dime. We talked about this a million times. They do 1.4 million trips an hour, Chris. Hour.
Mhm.
Okay. How many of those are like this? 5%? Okay.
Oh,
Well,
get
that's
those
directly into the
in
bottom
there.
line.
Yeah, exactly.
So he goes
But-
December 7th, 2025, 3:58 a.m. That's pretty early to get pissed off the rest of the day, Chris. Or unless that was
or
his
pretty
last trip,
late.
he's going home.
Or pretty late. Just depends
Or
on
pretty late, one or the other. Yeah, he's in Florida. I know the driver. Actually, I met
St.
him in
Petersburg. It's probably early because I'm pretty sure bars are closed at that point in St. Petersburg. I could be completely wrong though.
I don't know, but
I
I
don't know
didn't
what
look
day
into
that
that.
is.
But so they offered
December
him
7th.
209 to
Oh no, that's Saturday
cancel.
night.
Yeah,
It's
they paid him
in the morning
$1.67.
Saturday night.
What's a driver's recourse? See, he knows it. Waste 3 to 4 hours. No, I don't know about 3 to 4 hours, but it's solid an hour, 40 for half hour to an hour. With an AI chatbot support over 40 to 50 cents, he quit. He just did what you said most people are doing. They're like, screw it. That's not worth it.
See, and that's the problem. That's the complete problem because you're like, what's yeah, I know it sucks. An hour, 30 minutes, whatever it might be, it's just a waste of time. For what? Again, 42 cents? Yeah, really? Like, but that's what they're banking on. They want you to do that because they're literally just fucking you right in the ass right now. And they're not even lubing.
Yeah, but Chris, see
Like,
the
at least buy me
problem.
dinner first.
Also, the problem with Uber in this one is they send you the thing on the left screenshot, the one in the middle, right? They
Yeah.
say you can cancel the trip for an extra 209.
Well, give me that 209.
Exactly. I mean, it's your shit, Uber, right here. It's like you're saying on one hand 209, and driver goes, okay, I'm going to get 209. I'm going to cancel. And then he
Yeah.
cancels and you give him $1.67. I'm like, why? It's your shit. Give him the 209. How difficult is that?
Make it right. It's so simple. But no, we're gonna do this.
Now, if it said, okay, how about this? If the screenshot on the left or the middle says, okay, you can cancel this trip for an extra 209, but we're only going to give you 167. Would he cancel then?
I don't know. You gotta wait until the little timer of got it goes out, and then you can cancel. Let that go out first, and then it'll pop up from 167 to 209.
Yeah. This is, you know what was that Clint Eastwood movie? Do you feel lucky, punk? Like
You're feeling
on the
lucky.
357, looking down the barrel. And I'm like, so Uber, seriously, Uber. I mean, we don't have to do this. We've been doing this for 3.5 years. I'm so tired of this. If you say something,
Just do
deliver it. Do it.
Yeah, because
This is not.
then the
But
driver has to
again,
waste their
you know.
freaking time trying to get 42 cents. But again, that's what they're banking on. They're banking on the fact that they can get, 20, 30, 40, 50 cents 100,000 times in a day.
Yeah.
And, oh, hey, you know what? That adds up over time. I wish I could do that. I would do that all the time. I'd make it just enough where it's going to piss you off, where I know you're not going to do it. And 98 out of 105 are not going to do it. And you make bank.
Yeah. Well, he did, sir. Because there's a question. The Drive Meister says, "It's 209 if you wait extra minute. Did he wait the whole extra time?" Well, Uber is saying if you cancel this trip, you can cancel this trip now.
You can cancel this now. There's not
209. He already did the waiting.
Yeah. The thing is, if you continue waiting, they will be charged for the time that if you complete the trip.
Yeah.
So.
And then the got it clock is running down. So he clicked on got it and then he canceled. And then they pay him 42 cents less. We did this numbers, remember? 250,000 trips times 20 cents.
Yeah.
Or it's like, that's a lot of money, bro. I mean, it's millions of dollars a day, Yeah,
a lot. How do you think that they became so profitable? Because they're screwing you as much as they can.
I bet you they keep track of all this stuff, right? They go like, look at this cancellation thing. We just got another 2 million today.
I bet they do.
I bet you they do. I bet you there's a spreadsheet somewhere. They go like, look at this.
I bet they got a little code name for it too, like Dara or something.
On this one, I will hopefully find that out.
Dara.
The code name for this, I have an idea for you. Uber code name for this, frog.
Frog, okay.
Yeah, boil the frog slowly.
I was going to say I thought they had frog on there already, but okay.
Oh, it was a frog.
They're like, we already got one.
There you go. So anyway, I don't know. At this point, I'm like, I don't want to give up, but then fair is fair, I mean, principles are principles. It's not about 42 cents or this. What can you get for 42 cents?
I don't know.
What's the principle of it?
I think that's fraud. You're telling me you're going to pay me something. We've agreed on a contract. I hit cancel, and now you're screwing me out of it.
Well, there you go. Here's the owner of that email right there. I mean, I was saying thanks, MJ Smith Group. Thanks for the email. Oh, you guys send me these things, okay? Keep sending them to me. Sergio@theratchetguy.com. Because eyes and ears all over Uber, all around the globe. Eyes and ears Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And they got this one too, by the way. But then this is like an individual. Well, I'm not going to say it's an individual because this could be happening like a million times a day.
Well, that's why we always say screenshot everything.
Yes.
That way, then you know if you're getting screwed, and then you know how much.
100%. Take screenshots of and then you go home, and then if you're running out of space in your phone, which is impossible, literally, erase it. But then keep the good ones. Keep your evidence. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if everything checks out, you don't need to worry about it.
No.
And then if you're using like the 2-phone trick, then you don't really need that extra amount.
I agree.
Screenshot everything.
I 100% agree with you. Yep.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Lyft's favorite driver feature. Matt.
Matt's corner. Matt is here. Matt,
he just literally commented.
So Matt has some good ideas.
This is Matt's left corner.
Matt has some good ideas.
Matt's right corner in a little bit.
Listen to Matt, Lyft. Listen to Matt. Okay, so the Lyft favorite driver feature has great potential. We agree. I've been favorited by over a dozen riders, but haven't been matched yet. That's because, Chris, why? It's only on scheduled trips, right? Okay.
Yep, right now.
For now. So, number one, I would open that up to all kinds of trips because your algos are good enough to know where I'm at. You already know where I'm at. And then if one of my favorited riders, whoever favorited me, is in the area and ordering a trip, you can match me with that automatically. Send me the exclusive first, right? Anyway, so his suggestions are as they go. 1, let driver approve, accept the favorite request. We may not consider them a favorite rider. I agree 100%.
100%.
Just because you like me, don't mean I like you, especially the way you smell, which we're going to get into in a minute. Tell us who
I had
they
to put
are.
my nose while I was speeding to get your ass. The 18 miles it took before I would vomit all over you. But yeah, no,
but I mean,
that one I think is huge. Like, all you need to do is send like a notification. Hey, this person favorited you. Did you, would you like to stay on the list or something? You know, something simple, something easy. And it's like, okay, yeah, I like this person. I could deal with them again, or I don't want to see him again.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it should be this is like going on a date. Just because
I
you
mean,
like me,
because
maybe I don't like you.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, you could have only rated him 4 stars, and then instead of 3, where maybe that would happen, where you're not going to get paired with him again. But does this override? It's the
yeah.
list favorite. Does it override? I don't
Well,
know.
Matt's famous on dropping the deuce on a lot of people. So it's like, so that's the first one is very valid. Lyft, listen to this, Lyft. Tell us who they are. Yeah, of course. I mean, like we said, it's a two-way highway. It's like, don't force feed. Just because you picked me as a favorite driver, you could be a criminal. Do you like my car? Next time you do it, you're going to rob me. I don't know. Shit.
Yep.
Tell us who they are. Okay. Let driver leave note for themselves about rider or trip. Okay, that's a little complicated, but maybe. Show note on schedule ride offer card. Huh, okay. See, now, Matt, you're costing him a lot of money. This will take him like 6 months to do this.
Yeah, because it's so hard to connect the dots.
This I like. List previous trips with rider. That's one I think is a winner right there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner right there.
That'd be good.
They should do that. Actually, you know what? They should do that with all trips. Oh, FYI, you had a trip with this guy before. I mean, although I believe their algorithms for safety reasons don't match or
you
try
know
not
what?
to match.
You know what? It doesn't even have. You don't even have to have the previous trips. You could literally just say on the offer screen, 4 trips with this rider, or
Yes.
like 3 previous trips with this rider.
Okay.
Whatever it might be. So then you might have an idea who they are.
Okay. And expand all circles, not just scheduled. That's definitely doable. 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah, but I mean, let's look at the reality though. When it comes down to it, if it is on demand, the actual chance of you and this rider being in the same area during the time that they need the ride is very small chance of happening, whether you have a rider in the car or you're even in the area or whatever it might be. That type of thing. Good. But Lyft, I'm going to give you a freebie here, and one freebie, and then after that you pay for it. What you can do you can take this to your passengers and say, hey, we have a new tier. It's called Lyft Preferred Driver. So you can have your Lyft Wait and Save, your Lyft Regular, your Lyft XL, your Lyft Black, your Lyft whatever, and then you can have Lyft Preferred Driver in there. And you know what? You can charge a little premium. You can charge a little premium. Hey, this passenger, you want a preferred driver? We'll give you your preferred driver of what you liked, and then that way, preferred driver gets it. Hopefully, they get a little pay. They get a little more extra cheddar there. So now a preferred ride comes in. You're getting a few bucks extra. Lyft makes a few bucks there, paying a little premium. Hey, why not?
I like it. I like that idea too. Lyft, did you get that?
Because then what you can say is you could say, yes, you have a preferred driver in the area. And then you could actually have it where it's to the point where this driver may take a few extra minutes to get there because we're putting this request right to that driver. And then on the pop-up screen, the driver should see preferred preferred rider or whatever it was, or favorited driver Lyft preferred ride coming from favorite, whatever they got to say on
No,
that.
no,
So
I get you.
know,
That's a good idea.
but
That's a
I
good
think
idea.
something like that should be there.
Yeah, it's a good idea because if you favorited me and then you don't mind waiting a couple more minutes because you know me, you like
Yeah.
me, and then vice versa. Yeah. So this gentleman says I have 19 favorites in Lyft. I get matched all the time. Maybe it's because smaller market, most likely. There
Could
aren't
be.
that many drivers around. And yeah, and then there was one comment, Chris, that I want to hit on.
Or the other thing too is you're in the area because let's say they're going to work or they're doing some similar thing every single time.
Yeah.
So let's be real. A lot of drivers are, driving in the same areas, trying to do the same thing. Even though you can go, all over the place, for the most part, you're probably going to follow suit. Depending on, if you're starting the shift or going somewhere or planning on something, planning on being in a specific position at a particular time. You're trying to maneuver it almost the same way. So there is that chance where you can have an elevated person, like if they're going to work at a particular time or if they're coming home at a particular time, those things could potentially line up.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think, a lot of people don't do scheduled trips because they go, it's not worth it. There was a comment like that. I disagree. I think scheduled trips are fine as long as you can squeeze them within your day. That turn your app on 40 minutes before, that kind of thing, that blows actually. But then
Yeah,
we'll see
especially if
how
they're
that
going to give
goes.
you a 375 for the ride.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I like these ideas, and I will send them to Lyft's way as far as suggestions are concerned. Lyft does listen, honestly, they do listen, and so keep them coming, keep the ideas coming.
Yep. So that's Matt's left corner. We'll get to Matt's right corner in a little bit. But before that, let's move on to the Lyft 7030. We've been talking about this for a few months at this point now. And
More.
basically, for those who don't know, maybe you don't drive Lyft, maybe you don't understand what the 7030 split guarantee is. Basically, Lyft says, hey, you have a passenger that's going to pay their amount. After external expenses, whatever the hell that is, we are going to then split the fare between us, where you get 70%, we get 30%. And we're going to guarantee you over a certain time frame that if you make under that 30%, or I'm sorry, under that 70%, we'll make you whole.
Yep.
We'll give you this nice little upcharge and give you some money there and make it at 70/30. But what we've noticed is they like to change the numbers between Lyft's external expenses and Lyft's fee.
Yeah.
So we got
when Jeremy was on,
there.
as you know, when Jeremy was on, I called Hocus Pocus a couple times. I don't think he liked that at all. But Jeremy, you have this email from me. Your team has the email from me. In fact, they got back to me and says, "Well," I go, "Can somebody at Lyft explain this to me?" Because this is so self-explanatory that I can't do a better job than what this driver did. So Lyft is totally busted 7030 Hocus Pocus. Well, that was my title. I put it on the Google Docs and shot it to Chris. So here we go. Pay attention, really close attention, folks, because all the math adds up on this one, okay? Been waiting for a clean one Lyft ride this week to show 7030 Hocus Pocus. Finally got one last week. Please see attached screenshots. We're going to walk through those screenshots. Let's take our time on this segment. I took a screenshot right after the ride ended Monday. It showed I made 49% after external expenses, fees. No other activity on account other than a rider adding tip. So this gentleman did one single Lyft trip, Chris, one, all week, and then waiting for his top off. Okay? All right. Because he only got paid 49% after external expenses. Well, what's the deal? After external expenses is 70/30, right? So there should be a top off on this trip. By Friday, so this trip took on Monday. By Friday, that number crept up to 54%. By weekend, no activities to blunt any of the blunt my initial ride. It crept up to 56%, Chris. Now, Jeremy, if you're watching this, this is the Hocus Pocus part. On Thursday of this week, I got $3.37 adjustment, which is $2.14 lower than the $551 I would get if the external fees remained at Monday's 49%. Miraculously, Lyft fee shrank from $13.51 to $10.45 as the internal fees rose. Okay, so let's look at the screenshots first of all. This is the completed trip. The trip, the rider paid $34.95, and let's look at the second screenshot over. That number did not change. Now I want you to all to focus on these line items. $34.95 did not change, Chris. Okay. Originally, when he took the first screenshot at 49%, estimated commercial fees or external fees expenses was $744. Okay. Taxes and government fees was $392. Estimated Lyft fee was $10.45. It's pretty clear so far. And the tip came in at $8.74. All right, good. Let's look at the second screenshot over it. 34. No, not that one.
No. All the first screenshot is just it showing it broken down. So when you hit the tips, it breaks it down when it was 11/24/25, and then the external fees were broken down. The other side is just the same exact thing. The only difference is it's not expanded. So it's the exact same numbers. Nothing has changed there. You know, if you add 744, 392, that still equals 1136, 1045. But the driver made 2188 on that with the tip included.
Included the tip, right?
That's all that. But then when you go into these screenshots.
Yeah. When we go to the next one, so the passenger payments, $26.85, which was plus the tip. That's why it went up to 34 and change. $26.85. So the first screenshot he took was at 49%, and his earnings stayed at 13.14%. An estimated Lyft fee was at 51%, obviously, at $13.51, out of which, Chris, he was supposed to get $5 and change for the top off because that's the only single trip he did. Yes? Okay. Then that number, passenger payments after external fees, dropped to $24.23. This is all way after. This is like 4 days later. It dropped to $24.23. His earnings obviously jumped because when that number goes down, the second number goes up. So he went up to 54%, but his earnings still stayed at 13.14, Chris. All right.
Yeah, well, the earnings not going to because the external fee and the Lyft fee are the two that are being interchanged.
Yeah, and look at the third one. It went up to 56%. So all three times he took a screenshot, numbers were getting flipped around. And instead of getting a $5.50 top off, because of the last one takes precedence, okay, he ended up getting some $3.31, as he says in his original email. So Lyft, this is exactly the hocus pocus we're talking about. How is it possible that after a trip has ended, and then this is what the top off is, $337 he got, and it says clearly $337, $337, and literally it says, yeah, there's the earnings adjustment, right? 14%. 14% was $337, and I'm going like, this is what I would like you to explain to me, Lyft. When the trip is done and finished with, how can we move numbers around that this driver, instead of getting $5 and change, only got $337 as a top off? Because it's a natural math thing here. This is not rocket science, Lyft, okay? When you move the external expenses around, that's automatically going to affect what the driver's top off is going to be. That's simple, because it's after external expenses. If you jack up external expenses after the trip is over somehow, day 2, 3, 4, 5 later, you just pay shortchange this guy by $2 and change. Now, this is bigger numbers than Ubers and 25 to 50 cents at a time. Where is that money going? Why is this driver getting shortchanged? Why are the numbers getting flipped around on external expenses and Lyft fee? This is what I want to know, and I haven't gotten an email back yet.
Not just randomly, but like constantly. It was being changed 3 times that we saw when he had the screenshots. It just changed today to this, and then the next day it was this, and then this. How?
How? That's what I want to know. That's all I said.
Once
I
the
go, you
receipt's
guys, somebody
done.
at Lyft explained this to me, because this was the clearest evidence so far that I can remember of the Hocus Pocus. And this driver did an amazing job writing the letter, explaining it. So he went from 49% to 54% to 56%, and that's why his top off got affected. Clearly, there's no ifs and buts about it. I mean, it did. That's because the estimated Lyft fee moved around. It moved from the Lyft fee box to the external expenses box. External expenses kept going higher, and this driver's top off kept going lower. So Lyft, these numbers getting flipped around after day 2, 3, 5 later, the numbers changing, one needs an explanation, because it's directly affecting, and this driver did only one single trip, just one. That's all I'm saying, Lyft. You need to explain to me where this drive, why did you move the numbers around, number one. How is it possible? The trip is over. The guy is at home already. Everybody's done. How does external expenses change? And the lack of transparency and the opaqueness of this math blows my mind. And then they came back, they go like, so you want to know this? I'm like, no, it's self-explanatory, bro. How do numbers change after the trip is over? Not once, not twice, but 3 times for this driver to get $2.14 less. I don't know. Do you know, Chris? Can you make sense of this and explain it to me?
I can tell you why it makes sense.
What?
Because they don't want to pay the driver the actual 70/30, so they're like, oh, we can just change the numbers around. Nobody's paying attention to this, so again, we're going to do it, and we're going to switch it around. I mean,
yeah, but this has been going on for like months now. Remember, we caught this. There was a problem with the tip.
That's the whole thing. How often are they actually doing it? Because I'm betting it's probably a lot more, and not many people are paying attention to it, because you are not opening up your phone. You are not screenshotting when the ride is done, getting that receipt, and then checking it the next day, checking it the following days, and actually seeing all of that stuff.
I mean, look, you remember, they accepted it, they admitted it. There was a glitch with the tip. When tip showed up, the numbers were getting flipped around, and that got fixed, right?
Yeah, well,
but this is the clearest evidence of trip is over. We're done. I only did one single trip. You changing external expenses numbers because the 70/30 split is after external expenses is directly affecting my top off.
Yep.
It's simple. I mean, I don't know how else to explain this to you folks, really. And Lyft has these geniuses over there. Again, somebody at Lyft explained this to me. First question, how do the external expenses keep changing? 3 times. And each time they change,
smudge of hand. They're going to be like, hold on, don't look right here. Look over here. This is what we're talking about over here.
Yeah, but
don't worry about over here. Don't worry about right here. Worry about here.
this driver was diligent enough to stick with the topic, and he had obviously seen the previous segments of our shows to say, okay, I got one. Do you want to look at it? I'm looking at it. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at math. So this is why we call it Hocus Pocus, Lyft. And then you don't like it. I'm sorry. As long as that external expenses number is arbitrary somehow, and it could change after a day or 2 or 5, and the driver top off gets affected, I'm going to pay attention to it. What else is there?
So, moral of the story is, for everybody out there, screenshot everything and then go back and screenshot, because we're seeing these numbers change. And yes, it can actually impact if you're getting a top off or not.
Well, okay, so see, it's not complicated. It is complicated. They have an algorithm that goes through all rides and optimizes the numbers to me. Well, that would be very illegal.
Well, that's kind of the inference of what we're seeing.
That's fraud. But I'm not accusing Lyft with any of that. I just want an explanation. It's simple. You have it. I sent you all the screenshots, Lyft. I actually sent you this thing whole as a whole package. And looking forward to that answer. And Jeremy didn't like it. I can tell by his facial expressions when I called it Hocus Pocus, because it is Hocus Pocus. What else is there?
Yep. I think, I mean, it's my opinion. that they are changing the numbers post because not many people are paying attention to it, and they're just gonna, be able to tweak the numbers the way they want, and it may be affected differently if it's only a few rides. Like this driver only had one ride to actually show you the top off, versus somebody who's going out there and doing 50, 60, 100 rides a week or something, where
Yes.
they can actually change the numbers based on all of that criteria, so you can get as close to that 70-30 as possible without necessarily meaning to finagle the numbers. But even though they can still finagle the numbers on the other end, and then instead it says, oh, you were actually supposed to get 55% is where you were really at, but because of the number change and because you've taken so many rides and how we've changed it throughout your entirety of driving, we are getting that to 81%. And then
But
that way,
should it be our job to do this? Well, I mean, we're driving already is already stressful enough. Do I have to, like, even you say it correctly? If I did 100 trips, right? So on one trip you finagle the numbers, okay, whatever. But you literally have an algo out there that can finagle all 100 rides and pin me right at 70-30.
yeah,
I mean, that's
that's why the
bullshit. That's why it's
70-30 is
Hocus
bullshit.
Pocus. That's why I'm saying it's Hocus Pocus. I mean,
That's why 70-30 is absolute bullshit. 70-30 of what? Because there's no clear floor. There's no clear ceiling. There's no clear anything. There's no clear path. Oh, it's more clear. No, that's gaslighting. It's more opaque.
yeah, I don't know.
Because
So I'm
I
looking
mean,
forward to
how
that.
many times have we seen rides come in that are extremely similar to each other in time to pick up and distance to pick up? Same thing with time and distance for the actual ride itself, around the same day, but maybe they're on different ends of town or whatever. And you're seeing a massively different way you're getting paid. You're seeing
Yeah.
a massive difference on what the passenger's paying. I mean, it's
Well,
all
that part,
Hocus Pocus.
okay, that part I get it. But what I'm saying is that even Jeremy said when he was on our show a month ago, he said, it's up to the driver, up to the location, up to the time of day. External expenses number could vary wildly. Okay, I get that. This is not anything about
But
that.
once the ride's over,
Yeah, once it's over, it's over.
but
I mean,
yeah, but so here's the thing. I can understand where certain things can be wildly, but if you program your AI or your to price out these trips according to the specifics, where it's okay, get this person as close to 70-30 as possible. Get
Yeah.
all of these drivers as close to 70. That means they could throw any number they want at the driver. They could
but
throw any number
that
they
would be
want
so illegal.
when it comes to the external expenses and all this. How's anybody going to know?
Well, if you're going to make it fit, if you have an algo that makes everybody fit into the 70-30, so you're top, so you shouldn't be out there boasting we're the only company guaranteeing a 70-30. Oh, by the way, we can finagle the numbers and make you fit that 70-30 at the end of the week if you do one trip or 100 trips. I mean, I'm questioning that. Forget ethics. That's illegal. That's fraud. That you should not. I'm just saying once the trip is over, no number should change.
The numbers shouldn't be changing at all, period.
That's it.
Once it's over, it's over. The only way it would change is if there was like an email that said there was an error because of whatever particular issue, so we had to correct it.
Yeah.
But that should be
okay. That I
should be
accept.
known. That should not be something where they're doing it in the back end where not many people are actually paying attention to this. And you
This
see
actually,
the number
this
change
comment,
3
we
times.
should end on this comment, Chris. This is dead on. This will be like a huge company like Target or Walmart, doing some buying and selling, and they change your receipt afterwards. Or you go through this should be illegal because changing the invoices after service. I agree. Invoice should not change after service. Or if you do it, own up to it and fix it. Because again, this time is $2. How many drivers did it happen to? Lyft says they have over 1 million drivers in the US. How many times does this happen? Do we need to investigate this? Are we going to tell all of you to take screenshots of after each trip and then burden you with the investigative process of going back every day and looking at it if your numbers have changed? Because I want to know how deep this goes. Is it just a single trip? Is it an edge case? I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm really trying hard here, but This has been going on for a while. They said they fixed it with the tip issue, which they did. But this is so clear cut, right? That to me is like Chris said, once it's over, it's over. I mean, the trip is done. Whatever your algos calculated as far as external expenses should not change to the point that it's affecting my top off.
Yep. I mean, it is my opinion that they are doing this deliciously because we have seen it happen and change. There should be zero reason why anything changes, period.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Period. There shouldn't, full stop, nothing. No reason. Once that ride is over, that receipt is done. The only way they're doing that is to cook the books, in my opinion.
I agree. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll hear from Lyft and then we'll do an update on this. So.
And we ask everybody out there as well, please take screenshots of this when you're driving Lyft. Go back. Yeah, it's going to suck. If you're driving full time, you're taking, 20 trips a day, it's going to suck going back every single day and having to check and compare. But, if you can, set up some sort of spreadsheet or something, maybe that can help. And then that way you can actually, see it and not necessarily, have to compare screenshots. If you got like 20 that you have to go through, you just take the screenshot, next day, take the next screenshot, but fill it out on a spreadsheet or something that would make it a little bit easier for you. I mean, if you're doing one trip, that's a whole different story because it's easy to continue to go back.
Well, that's how you prove it, though. You do that single trip, and then your top off is all messed up. And
yeah, no.
multiply that times millions and millions of drivers.
Well, that's the whole thing. It could be twofold. You could have the people who are taking a low amount of trips every week because, maybe they're just weekend warriors. Maybe Uber is busier and they get the one-off. I don't know where he went, but they get the one-off Uber Lyft. I'm sorry, the Lyft rides. So their number count on Lyft is much smaller than, say, if they're driving Uber. But so they could have that where, yeah, they're going to continually finagle the numbers like that, and then going to the next one, it could be where you drive a lot more, and then they could show the different numbers on while it's being calculated while you're driving. So this particular ride, yeah, you made 30%. Lyft made 70%, so it was a complete flip flop. But then, the next 10 rides, they're like, oh, well, you made 90%, you made 100%, you made, whatever it might be. So it could be twofold. And that's an issue. That's why, yeah, if you go back and you look at all of the trips, you got to look at all of them, though, because that number change could be happening, whether you're taking 3 rides a week, whether you're taking, 300 rides. So it really just comes down to it. So yes, if you are able to do that, try doing that and seeing, ain't nobody got time for, if you're getting fucked out of money, I get pissed. People screwing me out of money, it don't happen. Maybe that's just the difference between you and me. The Italian in me will get you. Somebody's going to walk away with a broken leg. I'm just saying, you owe me money. I'm collecting. Yeah, that's me. No, Sergio didn't get hacked. He had to go to the bathroom, I'm assuming. But I'll wait until the next topic. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think on this? I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Put it in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking because, like I said, I really think that, there's a malicious intent to that IMO.
Now I'm blurry. Let me go out and come back in. Sorry.
All right. Oh, he went fully out. Legal theft. It's not legal. I wouldn't call it legal.
Much better. So, yeah, thank you for extending it. My son was stuck at the door. So, but yeah, Lyft, I really want to know
Get
about
your key, son. Get your key.
This one is also a doozy, Lyft. Watch this segment coming up too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So let's move on. This is Matt's right corner. And basically,
oh, that's why you said left corner, right corner.
Yeah.
I forgot about this one. Okay, Matt, are you here, Matt? This one, I trust Matt. If this was any other driver, okay, Chris, I'd be like, not possible.
Well, we have video proof too, so hold on.
I trust Matt on this one. So Lyft.
All right.
Pay attention, Lyft. Yeah.
All right. We'll set
All
it
right.
up.
All right. So Lyft involuntarily puts driver online. Now, folks, has this happened to you that you're offline and then turn your app on without your permission? Because they boast about, oh, you can turn the app on whenever you want. We can turn it on whenever you want. I'm like, okay, cool.
Wait,
So
why is my phone getting a ring right now? I'm not on Lyft. I'm not online. Why am I getting one?
that would be hilarious. Actually, it's exactly why we're talking
Wait,
about it.
why am I going to a ride right now? Pickup. Jane's not getting picked up. Sorry, Jane.
Yeah. So Matt says, wow, these apps are so sleazy. Lyft involuntarily. That's the key word here. Involuntarily. Put me online today because I was the only driver near a scheduled ride no one had taken. I had checked the app and saw a ride coming up in like 20 minutes, not too far from me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to watch and see what happens here. Wanted to see exactly when a surge might pop up or if someone would take it. No drivers within a 6 to 8 minute range of me, according to the Lyft nearby drivers feature. All of a sudden, I hear the ping sound, that heartbeat, right? Lyft has.
Mhm.
That should change also, by the way. I don't like that. Sometimes you don't even hear it. Like Uber's is so nice and clear. I hear
It's
that ping
so
sound, and
traumatizing.
they send me after not a ride finder notification. They sent it to him, right? An actual offer, an exclusive. Dirty, says Matt. I agree. This borders, if this was not Matt, I wouldn't even show this. I don't question Matt. Okay. And if Lyft is turning your app on to feed you a trip that nobody is taking to squeeze another trip into their system, that I think violates every independent contractor rule or law that's out there. That's the only thing we have here. You should not be able to turn my app on. Off, sometimes they put you in a timeout. I get that. On, to feed me a trip that you cannot sell to anybody else, that's a no-no. That's like 100% no. So
Oh, hold on. We have video.
we have video. Yeah. Luckily, he was screen recording.
So
He says he's just watching the reservation screen. That's all he's watching. He's not. He says he swears his app is not on.
oh, poof.
There you go.
All of a sudden now it's on.
Yeah. And then they
Then
sent him the trip,
Pickup
and he
scheduled for
accepted it.
7:30 p.m. In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Bridge Street.
So there you go. So
That
again,
is completely violation of God. I don't know how many laws. Again, he's watching the scheduled trip screen right there. He's screen recording. That's what Matt does.
Oof.
And then there you go. They ping him. He goes, I swear, Serge, my app was not on.
well, wait a minute. Since you were offline, we don't have to pay you.
Pickup
Well,
scheduled for
the thing is,
7:30
he says
p.m.
he knew about this
In a
rider. He
quarter
had
of a
given him
mile,
a trip
turn
before,
right
and
on
he's a
Bridge
nice
Street.
guy,
Uh-huh.
and he accepted it on top of that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Okay. So, no. Well, first of all, you have no idea what you're talking about. And if you call Matt an idiot, I think you're the idiot. But let's do that. Let's get over that. Let's be respectful to each other. Number one. Number two, if this, okay, I would like for you guys to send me as many. Okay, the last two segments we did. Send me as many screenshots as you want, as many as you guys want, with a discrepancy in external fees changing and your top off getting messed up after the trip is over. Two, if you're offline and they turn your app on and pop a trip, reserve trip or scheduled trip your way, send me that as well. If you can catch it. Matt happened to catch it because he takes a screenshot of everything and literally screen records pretty much everything. So what say you to this, Chris?
I don't. I at first when I first thought, I thought if he was offline and then he hit the reserve, they're like, well, time is the essence here. You got to get going because it was literally like what, just a few minutes before it was actually supposed to be like 15 minutes or something. So that's what I thought it was at first. And you're like, no, that's not what happened. He didn't hit the reserve, make it go online or something. But still,
Well, that's the answer to the other idiot who called you idiot, Matt. So there you go, idiot. Whatever. Tehasi 420. You can see right there in the screenshot before the reserve button is still there. So he didn't, but then anyway. So long story short, now screen record your whole session, folks. That's about it. I mean, and then at the end, go through it, take the screen. You know what I do usually is that if I'm going to screen record it, Chris, it's very easy to take screenshots of your screen recording. You know what I mean? Just go through it, and then you can take screenshots of all the trips, all the receipts.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is you could miss something. It's very easy to miss stuff.
Potentially.
Because I mean, if you're online for, if you're maxing out at 12 hours, or you're going between apps, so you're on there longer, maybe you're driving 16 hours or something, to go through a 16-hour screen record is insane with all the screenshots that you'd have to take. So
what do you say to this guy? This is the same guy that called Matt idiot. What do you say to this guy? You can screen record your whole fucking phone forever. What does offline and online have to do with any of this?
I know a screen recording has nothing to do with being online or offline.
Let's move
on. The moral of the story is Matt was looking at this ride because he was going to take it.
Yeah.
He was waiting to see if there would be a surge that would come attached to it because no drivers were around and that ride needed to be picked up. Okay. Following A to B to C. Let's finalize the dots here. The thing is, the Lyft geniuses decided, oh, you know what? You're looking at the app, so we're going to turn it on. So there you go. He was screen recording because he was going online. He's waiting for the ride to see if he could get a little bit extra money for that because nobody was taking it. It was only just a few minutes until the actual ride had to come up.
I cannot believe that this happened, but because it's Matt, I'm going to say I take his word for it. Screen record it. And let's see if they put you online without your permission. But that's at no. Zero. That's no. That's like.
And there you go. Crazy part. Got to the pickup location. Didn't hear from the person. And I waited 9 minutes. Timed out. Canceled. Got the $6 cancellation fee.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, if this is the next level of not Hocus Pocus. What do we call this one? I don't even know. Privacy.
Manipulation?
I mean, privacy shattered. Turn the app on when you want. No, you turn the app on.
See, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to get a fuck out iPhone now. I'm getting a Pixel, and I'm putting Graphene OS on that shit. I'm done. I'm already using Linux. Fuck Windows.
Well, I don't know. I think this is maybe this is the next level of, I don't know, shenanigans or whatever you want to call it.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't turn my app on, Lyft. Don't do it. Let me just that's the only thing I have left. Turn the app on or off when I want.
No, Sergio. You just gotta. I hear it. You're getting a ping right now.
Yeah, my phone's mute. Thank God I'm not. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how far this goes. So if you do see this, if you're 100% sure that your app is not on, and then you hear a Lyft ping coming in, please send it my way. Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, let's talk about smelly riders. I mean, Lyft sending out smell fragrance-free rides.
This just came out. It was on the Lyft blog.
Yep.
Right.
Well, passengers.
This is like too much, man. This is too much, man. Just too much. We're just like we have a clean car. We have air freshener in the car, and now you're like, oh, some riders don't like it. I'm like, well, I don't even know what we're supposed to do with this one. I don't know. So riders appreciate.
Honestly, though, okay. Honestly, though, I've been saying this for years. Like even on my channel, even on my channel before I came to RSG and was doing stuff here, I said, have a neutral car smelling interior. Don't have something that's going to be, one way or the other. Try to keep it as close to neutral as possible. Because because there's people I know that do have, very sensitive noses. You might be completely fine with, spraying cologne on or something, but you smell like like to the point where somebody's getting choked. I mean, and then the other side of the coin is passengers smell like shit. Come on. They haven't wiped their ass in 3 weeks and their panties are crusty and, somebody's got racing stripes up there. And they come sit in your car and then you're like, why the fuck do I have racing stripes in my car now?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, man.
But, no, I've been saying this for a while. You don't have anything that's too strong one way or the other. You got a spectrum from left to right. You want to be right in the center there. It's so much easier because, they get in literally. My way of getting my car smelling good was rolling down the windows. I didn't care if it was 5 degrees outside. I don't care if it's 95 degrees outside. You roll the windows down for a few minutes, get the air freshened, and that's literally the best thing you can do.
And then there's this problem. Now, what do you do on that one? Because the next passenger's coming in and your car smells like weed. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know about this.
Booth. Get the fuck out of here! Come on, this is YouTube land. There's no fucking phone booth anymore.
No, but I mean, he says like they smell like they smoke weed.
I know.
But so Lyft says, look, this is what Lyft says. Lyft says, riders appreciate fragrance-free rides. Okay, so I'm taking down my air freshener first of all because mine is a fresh car scent. Okay, so I get it. Okay, I'm taking it down. Then they're gonna go like, oh, no, your car doesn't smell anything. I'm like, I don't know where to win on this one. So what does fragrance-free mean? So people, listen. To riders, fragrance-free means a car that doesn't have strong odors, good or bad. All this for $2.62 minimum fare, man. Come on, man. That includes lingering food smells, cigarette smoke, or strong air fresheners. Even pleasant scents like cologne or scented sprays can be overwhelming in a small space. Okay, especially for riders sensitive to smells. Do they even have data on this, that how many of their riders are sensitive to smells and they got complaints, obviously? That's why they're putting this out there on their blog. A fragrance-free ride sets the tone for a welcoming and comfortable experience. And then the next guy will come in and say, your car doesn't smell nice. And
let me tell you something. This was done by ChatGPT.
So I see the line. I see the line right there.
I'm assuming that not only that, but what they were doing was they were probably putting in some person over there was typing in, what problems are Uber and Lyft passengers facing, and this was one of them. This is like they said, give me 20 different things, and this was one of them. They're like, oh, we've never addressed this. Write me a letter on this so we can put it on our blog, and there you go. This is what it is.
Oh, you know what? That's good catch, actually, because I see the
Hold
line.
I'm gonna put that in chat right now. Hold on.
You know what? When you guys use ChatGPT, when you see those lines, the long lines, like between orders and good, and on the left one, little one, there is one that looks and long line and they. It's not even a hyphen. I don't even know what it is, but ChatGPT does that all the time. So okay, and then so here it is. Riders have mentioned that the following can bother them. Air fresheners. I'm like, what? Riders often say artificial scents are too strong in a small space. Opening windows and using odor absorbers can keep a car smelling fresh without overpowering fragrance. Okay, food odors. I can see this. I get. If you're doing both delivery and rideshare, and right before you deliver some Indian curry or some shit, yeah, I can see the problem there. And that's why Risher said, we will not do deliveries because we don't want the cars to smell. But now we don't want the cars to smell too nice either. We don't want fake smell. We don't want any of that. Okay, I got it.
Yes. I mean, certain food, like I got Five Guys for dinner. My car's going to smell like Five Guys till all the way through tomorrow.
The next day, yeah. Food odors, cologne or perfume, hidden odors. Now does hidden odors run into the weed smell as well? Does it?
Hidden odors is those people who don't know how to shower for 3 weeks.
Oh fuck. Okay.
They just can't put that in there.
Oh, gym bags, leftover drinks, And fast food wrappers, yeah. Well, and then we go say no eating in my car, and then you get a 1 star, and then Lyft will deactivate you.
Well, let me tell you something. So I said I put in the chat. I said, give me 20 complaints that Uber and Lyft passengers may complain about, and it says, so it gave me 20. High and predictable pricing. Oh, can't do anything about that. Long wait times. Can't do anything about that. Drivers canceling after we've already given them. Dirty or poorly maintained vehicles. We'll put that out soon. So expect that. Drivers taking inefficient routes. Yeah, we already talk about that. We already warned drivers. Uncomfortable driving too fast. We do that. Small, and then strong odors in the car. So number 7 was it. There you go.
I don't know. So whoever wrote this,
a Lyft.
Oh, look at this one, Chris. Look at this one. Cash chips coming to New York City. Yeah, baby. Carjack City.
Where's that?
Cash chips are coming to New York City, Chris.
Hey, I don't care. I'm in Buffalo.
Oh, I know. No, I'm saying New York City cash chips. What could go wrong with that picture? Not a goddamn thing. Yeah, folks. So make sure now your car doesn't smell too nice because it could be abrasive to some rider's nose. And of course, obviously, make sure that it doesn't smell like shit either. So all for $262. Go for it. Knock yourselves out. There you go. Yeah. Just getting more and more.
Free car. Here we go.
Are you really doing this?
A Lyft blog article about strong odors in the car, smoke, food, weed, or heavy air fresheners to drivers about having an odor-free car.
There you go. So
as a Lyft driver, your vehicle is your workplace. And for riders, there it is. There's the dash. And for riders, it's a temporary personal space. While many drivers focus on clean floors and shiny dashboards, one of the biggest factors affecting rider comfort and ratings is something you can't always see: odor. Strong smells for smoke, food, pets, even heavy air fresheners are one of the most common reasons riders feel uncomfortable, leave lower ratings, or skip tipping all the. Dude, this one's better than what they got. So they use Gemini.
I love Gemini. Gemini is far and above better than anything.
Okay, wait. Way too long. Shorten it down.
Are you duplicating this on ChatGPT now?
I'm trying to.
Oh,
I'm trying to get it like tight.
No, I mean, look, obviously they use some ChatGPT or whatever, but no, I'm just talking about the general thing that we're supposed to keep a clean car, but keep it neutral smell. So that's why I have fresh car scent in my car, and I don't hang it from the mirror. By the way, I put it in the trunk because I have a hatchback, so the trunk space is inside so it doesn't it's really not that intrusive. That's what I do. So I don't know. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if there's odors or anything, I mean, you could get an odor absorber that works. Is it Lysol or is it the other one? I can't remember.
Febreze.
There's one. Lysol or Febreze. I can't remember. They have the odor absorber spray. But if you spray it,
Febreze,
that's like probably one of the best things. So you get one of those really crusty crotches coming into your car, and I'm telling you, you could roll down the windows a little bit, but if you still get that stank, you gotta spray that deodorizer stuff. It's Lysol or Febreze. I can't remember what I have. Oh my god, it works amazing. So you just give a couple spritz and roll down the windows a little bit, just to kind of get like the flow, because that does have a little bit of a scent, but that'll pretty much clear all of the crusty crotch out of your car.
Yeah. No, okay, fine. But or you can do this, Chris.
Tell them to fuck off. It's your car, and you use what you want. Yeah, I mean you could, but you're in the service industry, so
you're gonna get booted. I'm pretty sure.
You want tips? Then there you go.
I've had 1 out of 11,000 rideshare trips, and food doesn't count, but I've done about 3,500 food trips. I've had one girl, out of all those trips. It was a Lyft trip. I remember just like today. It was in Santa Monica. I picked her up.
And you had to go to cancellation.
She goes, "Oh my God, what is the smell?" I go, "Air freshener?" Oh, she goes, "I can't do it. I just can't do it." I'm like, what? So I guess this goes back to that. And she got out. I finished the ride, slided over. I had started the ride, and I'm going like, what the fuck? I go, like, you live for another day, Serge.
I have never once had somebody complain about the smell in the car. But I
So
have
this is
definitely
Hocus
had,
Pocus too, then.
but I had, well, that's what I'm saying. I think somebody, I think an intern or somebody who is at you know, in charge of driver relations needed to do something, and that's what they came up with. They said, give me 20 things that passengers complain about, and then odors, let's put out a blog about odors.
Waste of time. Anyway,
pretty much. Like the fact that, like, I mean, that should be just common knowledge, though. Like, have neutral car smell in car. But the problem is the fact that they put that out is absolutely absurd and ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's so much. That's control, bro. Control. We gotta control.
Because now it makes me want to put certain smells into my car.
No, don't do it.
And then just like see what happens.
No, don't do that. But what you do, so Lyft is becoming control freak. They turn your app on, send you chips. They mess around with the external fees. Lyft, we were praising you all this time. You're the good guys. What's happening here?
Well, the enshittification of everything happens. Just give it time.
Yeah, when the stock doubled, everybody got their RSUs. Now they have to double it again. Actually, it has to get to 30 now for the next leg, and then 40 for the next leg.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you think they're going to do it? They're going to finagle those numbers between the 70-30.
Yeah,
and then what's the other way they're going to do it?
I will investigate
online.
That. I will investigate that. I need your help, folks. Please send me all the screenshots you want. Take a screenshot after your trip is over, immediately after, like literally after. And then go back like a day or two later, another one. If there is like a really big don't send it to me like there's a penny discrepancy. Okay, penny, couple of pennies, maybe I get. But it's like this. Yeah. If your share of the 70-30 numbers like changes drastically, please send them to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
All right. Well, hi, I'm Chris, and let's talk about today how you're getting fucked by everyone. So
this was
MPU
amazing.
Just came out with a video earlier today. We've worked with MPU with Eric, and we did that with the Uber Lyft driver pay algorithm bullshit. Yep. And they decided to do another thing when it came to algorithms and how you're getting fucked. And that is having 400 people shop for groceries. And what they found will shock you. And if you didn't watch this video, the link is in the description. You can go check this out after the live. Go check it out because it's pretty crazy. Now, for me, I absolutely hate if you are going to try to fuck me over on pricing by making me charge more. Not going to happen. In fact, you know what? You know how many places recently I've been doing Lego cars, which is a lot of fun. Gives me something to do. So I build Lego cars. And it's fun. I enjoy it. I like building cars. I like everything cars related. In fact, that's something that you'll be seeing soon, but not here. So the other thing, Legos are expensive, right? Okay. Well, there's some knockoffs. There's so many different things that are popping up on my Facebook feed right now for ads for these many different companies that are creating different Lego cars and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I go and look at the prices. I mean, let's say 4,000 piece for a car, $280. That's a little steep. But I also know that company A, company B, company C, company D all have the same car. They're all at the same price. But that's interesting. I actually go to the manufacturer, it's half the price. So I say, like, I hate when that happens, when there's this dynamic pricing bullshit. I love it on Surge. Don't get me wrong. It's great at that point because I'm the one who's receiving it. But if I have to pay it, I'm pissed off. If I see something like that, I'm walking out your store. Like if I see those digital certs on there, I'm leaving. But when it comes to what's going on, so what they're talking about is Instacart and a couple of these other places, they have massive amounts of data on you, as well as Uber and Lyft. And this is how it all ties together. Uber and Lyft came out and they tied dynamic pricing very quickly. Then they coupled it with AI and made it even worse. So now they can get it down to the penny where it's like, we can try to control both the passenger and the driver and try to widen that gap as much as we can. So whatever the passenger is going to pay, well, there could be certain times like phone percentage, if you have to go to a flight, if you have to do something, they know a lot of that information. So they can be like, well, we're going to jack up the price a little bit. And then the driver, well, we know that this particular driver, they accept everything. So we're going to offer them a little bit lower than driver B, who's over there, where we got to raise it a little bit to actually get him to do it. So that's how they're widening the gap. They've pretty much perfected this. Why do you think stock price has gone up so much? What, 90, $100 now at this point when it comes to Uber? Lyft is trying to gain its ground again. But what Instacart is doing is they know your shopping habits. Not only that, but there's plenty of data brokers out there that can collect all your data, aggregate it, and then use that information to charge you specific prices at the grocery store, on Amazon, at Target, wherever you are shopping. So you might be paying, 5% more than I pay. I might be paying 3% more than what you pay. And it's all based on the algorithms saying, oh, well, we've determined that the price that we can sell product A and product B to customer A and customer B, and they are able to figure all of this out and, put that all together into where they will fuck you over because they're chasing profits on a marginally thin business. You think Uber and Lyft is marginally thin? Grocery stores make about 3%. These retail stores, they're marginally thin as well too. So when you look at it, if they can bust out a little bit more and widen that gap, now you're going to see their stock prices start going up, creeping up, because they're able to widen this gap. They're able to use that information and get 3 to 5% more. If you're already getting 3% at a grocery store and you're able to get another 3 to 5% profit on top of that, you have literally just doubled your profits. Actually more if you're getting that 5%. If you go up only 3% on your 3%, you've doubled your profits.
Yeah. And I mean, look, you said everything I wanted to say. One thing I want to say is I'm already trying to get Eric Gardner, Len Sherman, Katie Wells, and somebody from Consumer Reports who was part of this 15-minute video. Absolutely amazing video, amazing editing, amazing data with 400 consumers. So they basically went and duplicated this, folks. The one that we did for algorithmic wage discrimination with the 7 drivers, which got 5.5 million views with the consumer now, which was my idea to Eric. I've been saying it, you got to do this on the consumer. You got to do this on the consumer. And before Eric came over to More Perfect Union, he was in the grocery business, so he was very familiar with it. He took on the subject. It took him 5 months to do this video, Chris, 5 months. And my hat's off. And More Perfect Union does amazing videos. Please go watch it. And I'm trying to book them for next week. Everybody who's involved in this process. And they've all been on the show before, individually, Eric, Len, and Katie. They'll hopefully say yes and show up all so that we can hear it from them, what they found out. But it is absolutely eye-opening. Well, we know it's happening because we're in the industry. This is, Chris, the first shot across the bow of these companies because it's the consumer now. The consumer finds this shit out. This is going to create chaos with DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, all these companies.
Here's the thing. I mean, yes, you and I and everybody watching probably already knows this because we're in it. We've been talking about this when it comes to the Uber and Lyft side of things.
Yeah.
And I've complained where it's like, I will not use DoorDash. I will not use Uber Eats as a customer because why the hell am I going to spend 50% more just to have it delivered to my house because of whatever reason? So yeah, when I order something, even with a 50% discount, it still costs me more to actually have it delivered than me going and picking it up. And for me, I'd rather. I'm cheap ass. I don't give a shit.
No. I agree with you. I don't order much either, but
so I'm not going to order any of that crap, and I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to pick it up. Then that way, the restaurant isn't getting fucked over because of the absurd fees that they have to put on the restaurant as well too. And I get to save money as well.
No, but this was not
the beginning, and now they're taking it even further because they're able to price. Basically, let's be real, a price fixing across multiple platforms by saying, well, you don't need to charge competitively anymore. You need to charge based on what the customer is actually willing to pay.
Yeah. And the thing is, on this one is not about delivery fees, service fee. All those fees are bogus. I get that. That's why I don't order delivery either. It was like Chris said, after the 50% discount, they jack up those fees and then you're still paying the same thing. This was about consumers ordered the 20-item basket, and then they analyzed each item in the basket, which included eggs and other things and major food items and things like that. They were literally getting charged for the exact same eggs, dozen eggs, from the same store to the same delivery address at the same time of the day. Reminds me of our test. They were getting charged for a dozen eggs, 10 different prices.
Mm-hmm.
And then multiply that times the 20 items in the list. Some people got charged $125 for the basket. Some people got charged 108. Some people got charged 110. No rhyme or reason. It's the same basket of goods from the same supermarket.
Yep.
Folks, this is food. We know what has happened with inflation over the last 5 years in this country. All I'm saying is I hope they make it so we can listen to them and hear it from them how this came about. Well done, bro. Well done. I mean, I immediately texted all three of them. I go, amazing work. Amazing. And
I emailed everybody too.
In fact, Katie said, this is what Katie said. When I first saw it in the morning, I sent you the link, right? And then after that, I texted Katie. I said, Katie, so great work on MPU video, Katie. I've been saying this for years. The algorithmic discrimination is more prevalent on the consumer side than the driver. Congratulations. And she comes back and says, oh, Sergio, you were the inspiration. It was your test that laid all the groundwork. And I'm so glad that somebody with balls stepped up and did it on the consumer side, because there is 170 million people on these platforms as consumers, but there's maybe 10 million, 12 million, 15 million.
Yes, but here's the thing. It's not just the platforms. If you noticed in the video, it's not just the platforms. It's actually at the stores too, where it's happening. So you could go into the stores and have this begin to happen to you now too. So this is part one, this video. Part two is something I'm working on. I'm taking the Louis Rossmann approach to this.
Okay.
Fuck you all when it comes to these companies, because I'm not going to take this shit. And I'm going to put something together that is going to teach people how to fuck these companies that are doing this over completely, 100%. Because here's the thing. If you know the rules to the game, you know how to bend them, you know how to break them, and you know how to change them. If you're willing to put in a little effort and a little extra when it comes down to it, there are several different ways that you can take advantage of companies that are doing this. And if you do it on a mass scale, it will eat up their promo budget very quickly, very fast, and it's going to screw them from doing this. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, trust me, I'm going to be having something together.
I want to do this for the rideshare rider. Okay, but this is pretty much the same, but that happens. The other thing is Lena Khan was also in this video, which is our ex-FTC commissioner. Well, she's not there anymore. She was replaced by somebody from the Trump administration. And she had all this, by the way, planned, a deep investigation on all this algorithmic wage discrimination on the driver side and courier side, all the way to the consumer. All those plans have been halted at the moment, right? Nothing is happening at the FTC when it comes to this stuff. So I don't know, bro. It was an amazing thing. And my hat's off to Eric, who does an amazing job, and to all the people involved. Yeah, I'm hoping they show up next week. So we'll see.
All right. And yeah, stay tuned. So if you're interested in something like that, sticking it to the man, basically, when it comes down to this type of thing, let me know, because there's something that I'm going to be coming out with and working on. And obviously, the more people that are, doing the same type of tactics, it can only snowball from there. So with, one person get away with it, but when you got, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, even more, because again, like I said, this is not just happening necessarily online, but it can also happen in stores. So
what store was it? What store was it that they had electronic labels? The fucking price was changing like a roulette wheel?
It depends on where they've.
Was it Walmart? I don't know what
Walmart might have it. Well, Target might have it. So more of the larger retailers are probably going to see them quicker. Best Buy Those types of places usually have a video, so it's very simple to go on and change it. It's
Can
like
you imagine? Can you imagine? It looks at the inventory at the store and it's down to 2, and then while you're grabbing the item, the price is going up.
yeah. Well, actually, I believe it was Louis Rossman who just put out a video recently talking about why does a sub shop have digital boards, and he's like, hey, all I gotta do is click a button, all the prices for the subs rise. The click of a button.
I think this is so bad. I mean, the consumer is already effed as much as they
all
are.
it is coming down. It's how do we maximize the amount of profit that we can absolutely make, and do it where people are willing to pay for it. And they're trying to crack that code. But the problem is, the issue with AI is it's easily prompted or injected. You can inject prompts into AI and make it do kind of what you want. So if you know how to do stuff like that, you can use it into your favor. So there are things that I can do that I know about, but it's not just injecting things into the AI or feeding it bad data. It's also, other things that you have to do on top of it. If you like privacy, there's already things you're probably doing when it comes to privacy. So it's not that much extra when it comes to these types of people, because in the video they said, yes, it's not just popping up. Some of this has been 20 years. Every time you put in your phone number at the local grocery store because you're part of their shoppers club, that's all tracked. Every single purchase that you've done, you could put in somebody else's phone number, go for it. But how they feed you coupons is basically your previous shopping habits. But
scary,
they may not have changed the pricing yet or the pricing structure. So let's say you and I are going into the grocery store. You could go in and they're like, oh, Sergio's here, because we got AI detection cameras that's reading your face, which may or may not be illegal. But we have AI that's taking your biometric data. Now we know who you are, how much you've shopped here, what you're willing to pay. And, we don't have pricing on any of our things anymore. Or when you pop up to the counter where the eggs are and open up the fridge, well, it's going to show you one price. I'm right behind you. And then they say, oh, Chris is right behind Sergio. So right as you're shutting the door and turning around and I'm about to open, they change the price.
Yeah, that's too much, man. That's
exactly where they're going. So that's why I'm putting my foot down now. There's no fucking way I'm ever getting to that point.
What was that?
I don't
was
want
it
anybody else
Wendy's
to get to that point.
Remember, it was Wendy's, and we were like boycotting Wendy's. Was it like a year ago? What they were like doing dynamic pricing on hamburgers? Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm eating that.
Yeah,
what is happening?
That was the start, and that was the feeler. That was we're gonna feel it. We're gonna test that.
Well, they went back though. They walked it back. But this video, I mean, this clearly just shows everything at their scale. With that 10 cents, 20 cents, you guys are going to say, "Oh, what's the big deal?" It is massive.
Well, they said that it could charge families up to $1,200 more.
Yeah, it's amazing video. Amazing.
You want to talk about a few dollars here, a few dollars? Do you want $1,200 in your pocket? What does that mean to you? How many more hours of work driving do you have to do to make up that $1,200?
Yeah. No, the consumer's already stretched. I'm telling you, credit card defaults are going through the roof. Auto loan defaults are going through the roof now. Mortgage defaults are going higher. Unemployment's ticking up. Don't do this. I mean, look, but it's videos like this that bring it to light, and then videos like this that hopefully will fall into the regulator's lap. Not that I don't think Trump administration's regulators are going to do much about it, but this is all on-demand apps. It's Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Walmart, Spark, Target Shipped, all of them. I mean, this is a massive business. But anyway, so yeah, my hat's off to Eric and everyone who did the video. It's amazing.
Juju, you want to find a service for a phone equivalent to Apple's Hide My Email? For what, though? What are you trying to hide? Or what are you trying to obfuscate?
You can't hide, Juju.
Oh, you can. There's plenty of ways. It's called How to Disappear on the Internet. If you want to do it. I mean,
I'm everywhere, so I don't think I can hide myself.
There's several stages you could go through to completely erase yourself from the internet if you wanted. You could do it. It's just a lot of effort.
Oh, is that like you pay a company to scrub all your shit? Is that what they do?
Oh, no, never do that. You got to do it. You want to go to these data brokers and tell them to take your data off. You have to do it one by one by yourself. These other people, they'll send an email or something to them. Whether they do it or not is up to them. But if you are the person who's actually going to the data center and telling them to remove your data or opt out or anything like that, you are going to be much more apt at getting something done versus some of these data brokers. These data people that go to the brokers and try to get your data off. So, yeah.
Too late for me. I'm already there.
Well, there's ways you can absolutely do it. It's just a matter of whatever. But yeah, Juju, I want to know what you're asking specifically, because I could point you probably in the right direction.
Okay. So we have more shit or no? Are we done?
Yeah, no, there's two more topics. But
okay.
One of the good things though is in New York they have that AI pricing law now.
Yeah.
So that's good. And it's $1,000 fine per instance. So that could add up if a company decides not to display that they're using some sort of algorithm in order to price things. So I haven't seen it yet.
This one, they focused on Instacart only. Maybe there was another one they're working on. I don't know. But as we all know,
they mentioned Shipt as well too. But Instacart's kind of the biggest.
But you know this obviously, and that the menu prices on the Uber Eats app or DoorDash app is 30% higher than if you were to go to the store. It's the same, and then the stores are also kind of responsible. The restaurants are also kind of responsible for this because they go like, they're charging us 30% commission, so we gotta fucking make the money. It's a low margin business anyway. So it's like all like a domino thing going on and on and on. And for a price of convenience, but I don't like getting bent over. So
no, not at all. Yeah. Like why should somebody be charged, $35 for a Big Mac when you could go pick it up for, $7?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that makes no sense. Like, why? How does that make any sense?
Well, to a lot of people, I guess, who are exchanging convenience versus money.
It's not even convenience. I mean, again, if you're spending, let's be real, maybe 50% more.
Yeah, so you're gonna get cold food anyway.
Getting it delivered, where they can price target on you and change the prices how they want to do it. Yeah. It's up to them, and you're just like, oh, okay, I guess that's all. Yeah, but then you go to the actual store and you're like, wait a minute, it's under $10 for my food. Holy crap! Or whatever it might be, wherever you're going.
The inflation already did the work, right? If you look at Big Mac, that's the thing. Big Mac from 5 years ago and Big Mac prices today. In-N-Out burger versus In-N-Out today, it's this double plus 120, 130% more. It's the same damn Big Mac. It's probably the patty is thinner too. So the prices had already gone up. We don't need any more of these shenanigans bullshit that these companies do.
So inflation plus shrinkflation equals profit. So yeah, that's one of the biggest problems there. And I want to stop it where it doesn't even take off. Because like I say,
I'm with you.
Bend the rules. If you know you're playing the game, or first off, many of the people don't even know that they're playing the game. But if you know you're playing the game, then you know the rules of the game, and it's easier to bend the rules to your way. I mean, like, Matt, you're probably not going to like this, but take a look at the Patriots. How many times they got caught cheating?
Yeah.
It wasn't really cheating until they got caught, right? I mean, deflate the ball, let's go record some other teams. Yeah. But
I agree.
Yeah, either way, big thing is, if you're interested in that, go check out the video. Link's going to be in the description. Go check it out after our live. It's pretty eye-opening. And like I say, you're interested in not having these companies take advantage of you because they may know or not know your pricing. Try to take the best. I have something coming. Yeah. All right. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about Uber says the sky's the limit when it comes to growth, except for the fact that there's a thing called the population ceiling. And last I checked, Generation Alpha is half the size of millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Y, and the boomers are dying off. So there's going to be a massive downflow of people. So Uber, you're wrong.
We're not as bad as Japan, by the way, but we're getting there. Yeah, Japan is definitely dying country. So is Korea. So Uber says one stat shows how much room companies are growing. So I mean, they have to do this for their investors, obviously, right? And Uber's market penetration in the US is only around 15%. CFO Prashant Mahendra Raja said Wednesday. The statistic shows how much room Uber has to grow in its home market. Uber sees suburbs and grocery delivery among its growth areas. DoorDash is really strong there in the suburbs. Uber might seem ubiquitous in the US, but CFO says the company has lots of room to grow. Okay, Uber, listen. I get that. And I think they're looking for this growth, Chris, to happen with autonomous vehicles, actually, to be honest with you, because that's all I hear from their execs. None of them want to come on and talk about it in a logical, civilized manner here. What's the plans for the driver community? What are you guys doing about it? You're signing literally a deal a day around the globe to replace the driver. Okay. My thing is that now they have this bell that they're ringing. The bell is hybrid was the first one. Oh, don't worry, drivers, the hybrid network, for the at least next decade, nothing is going to happen to you. But now they're doing something that they did every time they cut the prices. They would say, yeah, we cut it from $1.20 a mile to $1 a mile, and from 40 cents a minute to 30 cents a minute, because that means the market's going to grow now and you're going to be busier. I'm like, bro, it doesn't make sense. If you cut the fares by 20%, I have to work 20% more to make the same amount of money I was making before. Because there's a glass ceiling in this. I can't do more than a certain amount of trips, okay? Because you didn't change the clock on the 60-minute clock. There's still 60 minutes in a goddamn hour. This is the same story. Now they're going, yeah, AVs is going to bring this whole new population. Well, what does fucking AVs have to do with the driver? Anyway, they're going to go, the total market is going to grow.
Or the market penetration.
Yeah, market penetration is going to grow, and then automatically, if we can provide them AVs, we're automatically going to provide them human drivers. That's why you're going to be better off, says Uber. I'm not buying any of that at all. And I have I have an econ finance degree, and I'm not buying any of that shit. Because the old story of, we're cutting fares because, it's going to grow the marketplace and you're going to be busier, did not work. And as I knew, it wouldn't work.
Shine policy, or you know what that is, right?
Yeah, but
you can shine a bunch of shit until it looks like a mirror. But you know what? It's still shit.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's the same thing over and over again with them. But here's the thing: the problem is what they're looking at. So they say Uber's market penetration in the U.S. is around 15%. So that means they have 85% more possibility for the growth. Yeah. Here's the problem: you know what they're actually doing? They're probably actually looking at total car ownership versus the amount of rides. So you could look at, or you could be like, the amount of miles that are driven from car owners versus the amount of miles that are driven for trips from Uber, and it would be that 15%. I don't know how they figured out this 15%, but the simple reality is a lot of people aren't going to give up their vehicle. They're still going to use their vehicle. And, certain places, it's not ever going to make sense. Sure, the city or something may make sense, but some people might walk. Who knows, depending on how far they are from work. So there's a lot of things here where it's like, you say it's at 15% and you think you're going to have 85% penetration. Good God, no, not going to happen.
This is the US. So let's do this. How many adults out of 360 million people in the US, let's say, counted properly, let's go. How many are adults? More than half, I'm sure, right? Uber use age, basically.
Well, let's see. We got Gen Y, 68 million, millennial, 72. Gen Z is 70 million. Baby boomers are dying off. Silent generation's almost obsolete. So there you go. You got probably 225, 250 million that are 18 or older.
Okay, so 15% of that is what, 35 million? The last earnings report, Uber said they have 165 million monthly active paying customers, MAPCs. I guess that's a global number. Is that what we're talking about here?
Maybe.
Probably. That seems very low to me, 15%. Is there one soul in this country that does not know what Uber is? Probably. It's probably the top brand, don't you think?
Right now, yeah,
Besides
absolutely.
Coca-Cola. I mean, I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all over. Like you watch some TV shows and they say Uber or whatnot. They're talking about rideshare. So, I mean,
Yeah,
late night
I
they'll talk
think
about
it's
it.
pretty low.
You know, movies they talk about it. So, I mean, you got to be living under a rock right now if you don't know what Uber is.
If you go to Appalachian Mountains, maybe they don't know it there, but I mean, any mid-sized, small-sized city, they all have presence. How does the 15%? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
Well,
then,
again, what I think they did, it's just about the numbers. What they probably did was they said total number miles or total amount of miles driven, divide that by the amount of miles that are driven on Uber, and that's where you get your 15%.
okay,
That's what I'm assuming they did, or something close to that.
okay. Well, so there's plenty of growth, folks. Don't worry. There's going to be plenty of chips.
Yeah.
If we take this number, so I'm this Indian dude, the CFO, well-paid CFO at Uber. So our market penetration is only 15%. Don't worry, drivers. We have 85% to go. We're always going to need couriers and drivers. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. Oh, by the way, we're going to replace every single one of you with autonomous vehicles because one autonomous vehicle is almost equal to 4 drivers. So, yeah, there you go.
I'm putting this in the chat.
What'd you do?
I said, how many miles were driven a year in the US and how many miles did Uber account for the same year? What is the percentage of that? So total miles driven by US, according to federal AI or the federal administration in 23 was holy crap, 3.2637 trillion miles. Holy crap. 3.26 trillion miles across all personal and commercial light duty vehicles. There's no public authoritative number for Uber or Lyft. Okay, I probably have to finagle that personal.
Yeah, change your prompt. But anyway, so don't worry, drivers. Everything is fine. The light at the end of the tunnel is here.
To a point, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So last but not least, what do we have? I forgot.
All right, let's move on. Uber's blaming the affordability crisis, and you guessed it, drivers.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while. Actually, this is a response I got from Len, who hopefully will be on the show next week, who was in the More Perfect Union video today. So Uber came out with 2, not 1, but 2 Medium blog articles about this, and Andy McDonald, who's the number 2 or number 3 at Uber, keeps tweeting it, and I keep responding to him. Of course, I'm pretty sure he has me on mute. He hasn't blocked me, but he has me on mute, so he doesn't have to read my answers. Andy, open invitation, but I know you're not going to show up anyway. So obviously I sent it to Len, and Len sent me this email. So this is Len's email, and everyone seems to finally recognize legitimate consumer concerns over family budget pressure and affordable prices. Agree. Just the other day, President Trump and New York City Mayor elect Zohran Mamdani, strange bedfellows, met and sang from the same hymn book on the subject. So affordability is it's going to be a big keyword during the midterm elections and the next big cycle elections. Okay. Look, affordability is not getting better, folks. I mean, look, you can be for Trump, it can be for whatever. Things are not getting cheaper. Okay. Inflation is here to stay. You're losing 6, 7, 8% of your buying power every single year. It's gaslighting to the max. The problem with any of this is that, according to Uber, Chris, in their world, with those 2 articles that they came out, it's on Medium. You can go check this out. Those are the links. They're saying that everybody is at fault except Uber. They're not saying that they have raised the prices, without any of this stuff, but let's go get into it a little bit. They are the helpless victims of bumbling government agencies, greedy insurance companies, and ambulance-chasing lawyers that are shamelessly raising taxes, fees, and insurance premiums while imposing economically ruinous minimum driver pay requirements in several states. And then, he makes his point eloquently, as always. Len does. These are facts, folks. Uber has raised the fares on the riders since 2000 by over 60% nationwide. 60%. That is way above inflation, according to the government. At the same time, Uber has lowered driver pay by 20%. That excludes inflation. If you adjust it to inflation, drivers are making absolute fucking peanuts compared to 2020. And so but Uber's on this bender because they, and they keep saying, Chris, Seattle, Washington State, Seattle, Washington State is the problem. And they keep saying, which is the best paying city and state in the country. They keep saying, yeah, it's these Reinhardt liberal, city councils, and that they pass these laws and the drivers make too much money, and insurance companies screw us, and ambulance chasing lawyers screw us. Everybody screws up. Oh, by the way, we have raised the fares by 60% since 2020 on the rider. And they will never admit this, but they are on some sort of a bender, and I always like to stay ahead of this. They are planning something. They're planning either to overthrow that Seattle thing, but I don't know what's going to happen. But Uber basically blames everything and everyone else for the fares to go up and the rides being unaffordable anymore. But they never say, oh, it's the fares that we raised, because that's how we become a free cash flow machine. That's how we can buy back $7 billion in stock. We're throwing so much cash out, we don't even know what to do with that billions of dollars. Uber, if that was the case, it was the bumbling city folks who passed all these laws that you didn't like, higher pay, more benefits for the drivers. Where is that $7 billion cash flow coming from for you to go buy back stock? Where's that coming from? I don't know, right? So anyway, but I am like, I thought I mentioned this because I know most of the time when it comes to these topics, I talk to myself, and no Uber executive listens to it, and they would not like to come on and, have a discussion. We're not talking a debate, the discussion. And, look, they're a company, $250 billion worth. They're going to do what they have to do, but doesn't mean that you just take it at their word. Trust me, Uber, trust me, does not work. It hasn't worked for a long time, and it just doesn't work. So there you go.
All right. Sorry, I've been finagling the numbers to see exactly what that 15% actually was. And so just to put into perspective, they said at its Q4 2024 earnings report, Uber reported 171 million MAPs, which is the monthly active platform consumer globally. More recent reporting, Q3 2025, puts that number at 189 million globally.
Wow.
So, but
yeah, 189.
well, I said, so what can we infer by the amount of U.S. monthly active users to have a 15% market penetration if based on the U.S. adult population? So it's saying that the current U.S. adult population, 18 and plus, is approximately 262 million adults with a 2024-2025 estimate. Denominator, it says when referencing 15% of U.S. adults. So they're saying that the market penetration would be 39 million actual monthly active users, or MAPC.
Okay. Well, Yeah, I take that. And if it's truly 15%, it's really low. So Uber, you guys, your executives don't deserve it. Your growth is stagnant. You guys are not doing a good job.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Is it really low? I mean, think about
No,
it.
I'm
For the
kidding, bro.
majority, car ownership is still reigning supreme. You're not
Yeah.
going to get nearly anybody to give up their cars. Yes, maybe in large cities, but and I'm talking more like New York. Like where you got plenty of
Oh, yeah, it's
buildings
impossible to
or like a
market.
downtown and you work right there or something like
Yeah.
that. Or it's insanely expensive to garage a car. I mean, it's like literally a monthly rent doubled because you have to pay the rent for the car and then you have to pay the rent for where you're living. At that point, yeah, I could see where it's going to be much more penetrable for a particular group or area of people. But when it
No,
comes to the majority of people, I don't see a mass adoption going from car ownership and car reliance to Uber reliance and using Uber or Lyft to get around for every personal errand.
the key is Uber's lack of affordability today by Uber and them playing victim is blamed on everyone except them raising the fares.
Of course.
That's what Uber says. Everyone, lawyers, city councils, drivers, everybody is at fault. Oh, FYI, we're throwing so much cash, we don't know what to do with it. When a business goes from free cash flow negative to free cash flow positive on this just kind of trajectory, it's not because of that, folks. It's because the company's charging as much as they can and paying as little as they can. That's the only way to do it. So go smoke some more crack, Uber. There you go.
Well, that's again, it's the shit shine.
I like that shit shine. I like it.
We got to do everything we can. So it's not our fault. It's not our fault. You know, we gotta blame everything else. It's not us.
Yep.
It's not us. Don't blame us.
Yeah, but it's typical in the driver community. In the driver community, that's prevalent too, though, right? You know, victim mentality in this country.
I think that's just a trait that people have.
Yeah,
and it's something that's celebrated. It's celebrated to be a victim instead of
genetic, bro.
Being somebody who takes life by the reins and something happened to me. Oh, I can't do that. Don't get your fucking ass up and go do it.
Yeah, no responsibility. Oh, it's your fault. Something somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else.
I can't do this because it costs me so much. Okay, well, you're sitting on your ass for half your life. You're not doing anything. I only work 4 hours a day.
Victim society.
I'll work another 4 hours.
Anyway.
When Uber stock gets to $90, $89.07 right now. And let's go back. Hold on. What was it in 22? Oh, and it was at 21. When it was at 21.34 on July 1st, 2022, and now it's at 89.
Well, it was as high as 105. So.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about on close.
Okay, well, it's 4x. Yeah, that's pretty. It's 200%. Pretty good.
But everything rose, but it wasn't because of us.
Imagine if it wasn't that, we would be at $300 a share by now.
Oh, we just wanted to raise prices because we want our stock up. Why don't you see that?
We can't raise prices.
That. We had to raise prices
because our stock to be only at 90.
Because Dara wants his extra bonus.
Oh, yeah, Dara got his money. But all I know is, when a company's throwing that kind of free cash flow, it's nothing, no other reason than margins are exploding. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, great show. Good times. Yes, a lot of shady shit going on, especially when it comes to Uber's mouth and what they're saying. They say, "Oh, we could continue growing. We're only 15%. Come on."
It's nothing. Uber, you guys don't deserve those
on driver pay, and then Lyft's Hocus Pocus. So yeah, please take screenshots if you're able to. Send it to Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Be careful for some Uber shaving out there, and also go check out that MPU video.
Check out the MP video. Moral of the story: if you didn't take anything from today's segment, I'm going to repeat at the end for people who didn't watch it. If Lyft is turning your app on without your permission or involuntarily, please send it to me. Record it and send it to me. And number 2, take screenshots of each Lyft trip after you just finished it, and then go back and revisit if the numbers are changing. I need to investigate this. I can't sleep now. I need to know. Either Lyft is going to come back with some hocus pocus answer, which I'm waiting for, or we're going to gather more evidence while we're waiting for the answer.
I mean, like, you really can't, because even if they say, oh, it's a glitch and, you know, the numbers were reversed, you know, the payout for the driver was based on the latest number, not right after the ride ended. Like they say, oh yeah, I know, it's just after the ride. Well, the numbers don't work at that point.
No.
You've broken the system at that point.
Yeah, it shows how hocus pocus it is. And we've been saying this literally from the first day Lyft came up with the 70/30. Literally. And so all they're doing is keep proving what we're saying. So.
All right. Great show. Thanks for holding it down last week. And we will see you guys next week. Hopefully with everybody from that video.
Yep, for sure.
Great video. And you know, it's just another way that everybody's gonna try and screw us. So just be careful out there. And like I say, if you want to take the reins in your hands, stay tuned, because I'm going to put out part 2.
Absolutely.